welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into something that's, well, changing the game in the chemical industry. Artificial intelligence.
Yeah, it really is.
It's popping up everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
From R&D labs all the way to the manufacturing floor, sometimes in ways you wouldn't expect.
Absolutely.
And this deep dive, well, it's built on some really fascinating stuff, insights from recent industry chats, expert analyses, stuff you've brought to the table.
And, understanding this shift, it isn't just about tracking the latest tech buzzwords.
Right.
It's genuinely significant. It has these broad implications for, how efficiently companies innovate, how they operate, and even for individual careers within chemistry. It's a pretty fundamental change, really impacting everyone in the sector.
Okay, that sets up our mission perfectly for this deep dive then. We want to pull out the most important bits, the key takeaways from all this material you've shared. Give you, our listener, a clear picture of how AI is actually being used in the chemical world right now. What are the real benefits? What are the hurdles?
Yeah, the challenges are important too.
And maybe most importantly, what skills you might need to, stay ahead of the curve. Think of it as a bit of a shortcut to understanding how AI is speeding things up, cutting trial time, boosting efficiency, and helping professionals like you navigate this.
Makes sense.
So, let's kick this off. Why AI? Why now in the chemical sector? What's driving this sudden, ubiquity?
Well, I think what's really become clear is that we've hit this kind of data tipping point.
A tipping point.
Okay.
For the last 20 years or so, chemical companies have been diligently collecting just vast amounts of data. Formulation data, process data, performance metrics.
Right, tons of it.
Exactly. But for the longest time, a lot of that data just sort of sat there. It was stuck in silos, largely untapped potential. Isolated, yeah. Now, though, with these advanced AI tools, machine learning, we finally have the capability to actually use all that data to connect the dots.
Okay, so give me an example. How does that work in practice?
Sure. So think about predicting compatibility in, say, really complex multi-polymer systems or modeling tricky viscosity curves. AI can do that now with pretty remarkable accuracy. And this capability, it dramatically cuts down on that old cycle of endless trial and error.
The bane of every chemist's existence.
Oh, tell me about it. I remember back in the day, so many late nights just tweaking one tiny variable. AI really changes that whole approach.
And that, I think, is the critical thing here, isn't it? It's not about AI replacing chemists.
Not at all.
It's about empowering them, right? Give them better tools, leading to, like you said, faster decisions, fewer batches going wrong, and just smarter innovation overall. It's kind of like having this incredibly data-savvy assistant who, never needs a coffee break.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It makes formulators faster, definitely, but also more strategic. Strategic. How so?
Well, they can shift their focus away from the repetitive, maybe less rewarding parts of the job, and really concentrate on the higher level problem solving, the creative bits, the stuff that really requires human ingenuity.
Okay, that paints a great picture of the big shift. But I'm curious about the specifics. When you look inside a formulation lab, where is AI making the biggest splash right now?
Right, in the lab itself.
Yeah.
Well, AI is really excelling in three main areas based on what we're seeing.
Okay.
First up is predictive property modeling. So imagine being able to predict properties, think of adhesive strength, or maybe spreadability, or a polymer's glass transition temp, it's DARE.
Yeah.
Before you even mix anything, before you pick up a beaker. That's huge.
Wow, okay. That alone sounds like a game changer. What's the second area?
Second is something called reverse formulation. Let's say a customer comes to you, they need something specific, maybe a low VOC product, right, with a particular tackiness or cure time.
AI can scan through potentially thousands of historical formulations, old patents, internal records, and quickly spit out, say, 3 or 4 really solid starting points.
So it finds the needle in the haystack for you.
Basically, yeah. It's like using a super magnet instead of tweezers. Much faster, much higher probability of success right out of the gate.
And the third area?
The third one is tackling challenges like emulsification or dispersion stability. These can be really time-consuming to test long-term.
Right. Stability testing takes ages.
Exactly. But AI can simulate those long-term outcomes pretty reliably just using short-term test data. And that alone, it can shave months off project timelines. Months.
Months. So we're not just talking about making things a little easier in the lab. This sounds like it's actually accelerating the whole R&D process.
Oh, absolutely. It's an R&D acceleration engine, no question. I remember hearing about this client. They were developing a hybrid epoxy adhesive. Normally, that might take, say, 8 months. With AI helping guide the formulation, they got it down to just under 10 weeks.
8 months to 10 weeks.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It really is. And you start thinking, okay, what does that kind of speed up mean for your work? For your company, your industry? The pace of innovation just fundamentally changes, opens up doors you couldn't even knock on before.
Okay, so R&D gets this massive boost. What happens when that formulation moves out of the lab? How does AI fit into optimizing the actual production process, on the plant floor?
Yeah, good question. AI is finding its way onto the plant floor in, well, quite a few ways. It's helping ensure batches are consistent one to the next.
Crucial for quality.
Absolutely. And it's also enabling genuinely predictive maintenance, anticipating problems before they cause downtime.
Okay, concrete examples.
Sure. Take polymerization. AI models can predict, say, monomer conversion rates even when things change, like variations in feedstock quality or little temperature shifts or different mixing speeds.
Right.
Knowing that allows you to adjust things on the fly, leading directly to fewer off-spec batches, less waste, better yield.
Makes sense.
Or another cool example, AI-powered image recognition. You can have cameras monitoring particle size distribution in real time.
Wow.
And the AI can automatically tweak, say, the disperser speed to keep everything optimal, all without someone constantly standing there watching it.
So it's like taking that idea of continuous improvement and making it literally continuous, automated.
That's a perfect way to put it. It takes the pressure off for constant manual checks on some parameters.
It does feel like a relief, like someone saying you don't have to wash glassware anymore, maybe.
Huh. Maybe not that good, but yeah, frees people up. And look, this isn't just for the giant chemical plants.
Oh, really?
No, even mid-size specialty formulators can get in on this. They can use, off-the-shelf AI tools, integrate them with fairly standard IoT sensors.
IoT, Internet of Things, right? Smart sensors sending data.
Exactly. Those sensors feed data from the process line, and the AI helps optimize parameters, maybe reduce energy consumption or cut down on solvent use, real savings, real efficiency gains.
So it democratizes it a bit.
It does. Which really makes you wonder, right? What opportunities might be sitting there in your own operations, whatever the scale? It really begs that question.
Okay, this all sounds incredibly promising, powerful even. But let's get real for a second. What are the roadblocks? What are the challenges or maybe misconceptions people run into when they try to bring AI into the chemical space?
Yeah, that's super important because it's not always smooth sailing. The sources we looked at really highlighted 3 main barriers.
Okay, what's number 1?
First is data readiness, or maybe lack thereof.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Pretty much. Despite collecting all that data we talked about earlier, many R&D labs, well, their data isn't exactly clean or structured. It's messy.
Right. Different formats, missing entries.
All of that. And AI needs good, clean, organized data to work effectively. So getting your data house in order, that can be a pretty significant upfront task, a real hurdle.
Okay, data readiness. What's barrier number 2?
Number 2 is mindset. There's still this sort of lingering feeling among some chemists, maybe a misconception, that AI is a threat.
Like it's coming for their jobs.
Yeah, exactly. Or that it'll devalue their expertise. But honestly, the reality we're seeing is the opposite.
How so?
AI actually makes their work more meaningful. It automates the tedious stuff, the grunt work, as you called it earlier,
Right.
which frees them up to focus on the complex problems, the strategic thinking, the innovation. It elevates the role, really.
Okay, so data readiness, mindset. What's the third barrier?
The third one is maybe overselling, or let's say managing expectations.
The hype cycle.
Precisely. It's really crucial to have a grounded perspective. AI is an incredibly powerful tool, no doubt, but it's not magic. It's not a miracle cure-all.
So even if the model predicts something.
Right. Even if your AI model predicts, an 80 Shore, a hardness for your new polymer, you still need to go into the lab and validate that experimentally.
You still need the human chemist.
Absolutely. That scientific reasoning, the hands-on testing, the critical judgment, that remains absolutely essential. AI supports that process. It doesn't replace it.
That's a really important distinction.
Yeah.
It complements, it doesn't replace. Grounded, like you said.
Exactly.
Okay, this is all incredibly transformative, as we've discussed, but it does pivot back to the people involved. If AI is handling more of that routine work, what does this mean for chemists?
Right.
How is their role changing? And maybe even more practically, what should chemical professionals be learning now to really thrive in this AI future?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The key thing seems to be focusing on developing what you might call AI literacy.
Literacy, not expertise.
Right. It's not necessarily about everyone needing to become a full-blown data scientist. That's not realistic or even necessary for most.
Okay.
It's more about understanding the basic concepts, like what is a predictive model, fundamentally? What does it mean if someone says a model is overfitting?
Which means they learned the training data too well. Right.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work on new stuff.
Exactly. So you're getting it. And understanding how the quality and type of training data you feed it directly impacts the results you get out. It's about being an informed user, an intelligent collaborator with the AI.
Speaking the language, basically.
Speaking the language, yeah. And maybe even more critical than the technical literacy is the skill of collaboration.
Collaboration. Between who?
Between the R&D teams and the digital or data science teams, they need to work together much more closely, much more seamlessly than maybe they have in the past.
Breaking down those silos again. But for people this time.
Precisely. The chemist of tomorrow, they're not working in isolation. They're part of a digitally integrated team. They're working alongside data scientists, software engineers. It's a team sport now.
It's interesting. I remember the source material actually mentioned specific training programs popping up, designed for exactly this need, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Aimed at formulators, R&D chemists, technical leads, process engineers, people who need to use AI integrated, but maybe don't need the super deep dive on algorithms.
Exactly. And that kind of training, as it was described, would typically focus on, real-world case studies, not just theory.
Practical stuff.
Very practical. Providing toolkits, sharing best practices, and crucially, walking people through the actual implementation steps. Things like, how do you choose the right AI tool for your specific problem? How do you get your data ready? How do you actually validate what the model tells you? And importantly, how do you make the case internally? How do you pitch an AI project to management?
To give you a roadmap.
It gives you a roadmap, exactly. A clear, actionable pathway for you as a professional to start leveraging these tools effectively in your own work.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up then. The core message from our deep dive today seems pretty clear. AI isn't some sci-fi future concept for the chemical industry.
No, it's here, now.
It's here, it's making a real impact in R&D, in formulation, and process optimization. And the upside is, it seems to be making the work of chemical professionals faster, smarter, and, as you said, more strategic.
Yeah, I think that sums it up well. To put it maybe one more way, AI isn't just, tweaking how we do chemical R&D. It's actively reshaping the landscape of the industry itself.
Right.
And for you listening, it really becomes part of this ongoing journey, doesn't it? Learning, adapting. That's going to be key to staying at the cutting edge.
Absolutely. And that leads me to a final thought, something for you to maybe mull over after this.
Yeah.
Given AI's power to really speed up research, streamline optimization, how might the actual role of discovery change?
Interesting question.
Will chemists be sort of liberated to chase those more speculative, maybe high-risk, high-reward ideas that were just too time-consuming before?
Well,
or will the focus maybe shift more towards validating the leads that AI generates, kind of guiding the AI?
Yeah, or maybe a bit of both.
Could be. But either way, what new opportunities does this whole shifting landscape open up for you, specifically, in your role in your company? It's definitely something worth thinking about. We really encourage you to continue your own deep dive into this. It's a fascinating field, and it's moving fast.